And we are live. Hello, everybody. This is the 9th of November 2015. The SUMO community meeting on Monday, and we are starting right now. And I'm getting a weird echo. Is that you, Madalena? Probably. So if everybody, if somebody's not talking, please mute because that's going to make it much easier, and you won't hear five of me. Still getting an echo. Am I the only one? Okay, I think we're fine.
You are the only one, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, well, maybe I'll just, too much tea and I can hear myself double. Today we have a relatively light agenda, so we're going to start as usual we're going to talk about the potential runtime items of which we don't have any. And if anybody has any big announcements or things to mention before we start going through a list of updates, please do so now. This is your time for the next minute or two. Oops, I broke the list of participants. If nobody has anything to add or mention, we can move over to the agenda items. Oh yeah, of course, feel free to update the list of participants. Thanks, Philip and Ashikur, for joining, first of all, and second of all, for updating it as well. Let's go to the updates and the announcements then, because that's what we are going to focus on right now. We don't have any nominees for the contributors of the week, but if you can think of somebody who really did something cool or awesome, do let us know and do put their names and their contributions into this Etherpad. We're definitely going to mention them on Friday in the blog. For the SUMO development update, I think we can jump over to Kadir then.
All right. So what we have there is the rollout of two roadmap items, finalized or finished roadmap items this week. One is the AAQ, the new AAQ, and the other one is the mobile article page. So those are being rolled out and are finished. We are starting a new roadmap item, which is the KPI dashboard 2.0. And at the same time, we are also going to take on some items from the Champions backlog. And you can see those items if you follow the link on Edwin. So the ones at the top of the list, those are the things that we are going to work on from the 25% items list.
Okay, does anybody have any questions or comments for Kadir?
Oh, by the way, I'm not sure if I mentioned that last week, so I'm going to do that this week. We have a new developer on board for SUMO. Brittany, I think Stans is her last name, but Brittany has joined us last week, and she's now a permanent member of SUMO Dev. And I'm very excited to have her on board.
Perfect. This is really awesome, and this is really great news. Hopefully she's going to join us on Thursday, because last Thursday I think she couldn't make it, right? But
yeah.
Okay, perfect. So everybody look forward to welcoming Brittany on Thursday. We should probably come up with some crazy idea to just kind of, freak her out a bit. In a good way, I mean, in a good way. I don't know. We should maybe write something in our local languages or something. I don't know. We'll come up with something. Okay, so if anybody has any ideas, write to Kadir or ping Kadir, and we can come up with something cool to say hello to Brittany. And it's really cool to have a third developer on board. Yay. Okay, Mark, Firefox Desktop. Is he actually here? He is! It's just there's such a long list of people participating that I don't see everybody. Okay.
All right, Firefox Desktop. The new Firefox released last week. The release went great. We had a ton of downloads. That's awesome. There hasn't been any major issues with this release, which is good. A couple of things came up on the community forums about future releases. I think Philip actually posted these, so I'm going to post a response there, but I just wanted to address them in the community meeting as well. First of all, tab groups are getting removed, and this is part of in our Whistler work week back in June. We talked about getting rid of features that hardly anybody uses or that just don't work well. and trying to focus on features that are great. And the initiative there is called Great or Dead. And so as part of the Great or Dead initiative, we're removing tab groups because less than 40,000 people actually use that feature. And as we add more features for tabs and things like E10S, which does like process separation with the tabs, continuing to support tab groups is a lot of work for only 40,000 people, which is less than 40,000 people, which is just such a very, very, very small part of our overall user base. So I wouldn't expect to get much people complaining there. I mean, a few people may complain on the community forums or on the support forums, and if they do, I'm not sure what the best action is right now. There may be add-ons out there. I would be surprised. I've not looked into it, but I would be surprised if there are not add-ons that do something similar. And if people really want it, then they can still create add-ons that do something similar. That's just the way it is. So anyway, the next thing that we're removing is full themes. That one actually I wasn't alerted to or didn't know about. So I knew about the tab groups one, but removing full themes for Firefox is a new one. That bug was just created recently. Supposedly that's going to happen. There's a lot of kind of arguing on the bug right now on Bugzilla, so it seems like that may be delayed or the scope of it may be changed. So I wouldn't worry too much about that one for now. I will keep an eye on it and be sure to let everybody know if we are going through that and when it's happening and what the impact will look like. And just to be clear, even now, the plan was not to remove all themes, but just to remove the ability for themes to edit some things, which would make a good bit of the themes not work anymore. So it's not a removal of all theming. It's more just a removal of the types of themes that like completely change the layout of Firefox. Which, as I understand it, there's some themes like that that are used for accessibility, which is something that I'm concerned about because that doesn't represent a large amount of users, but it may represent a large amount of our users who like visually impaired users, for example, and so that's something that I would want to be sensitive to. So anyway, don't worry about that one for now because I just don't think it's going to happen. And the last one, or at least it's going to be different before it does happen. The last one is the search bar. So we're removing the pref that lets you change the search bar back to the way it used to be. Philip made a good point about this one, is that in the future, I mean, always we should, if we tell people how to change something with a pref, we should tell them that that's a temporary solution or that that may be a temporary solution because there is no guarantee that prefs will always be the same or that they won't be removed or made ineffective. So I mean, in general, we should try helping people fix things either with add-ons or with settings changes, but pref changes would be more of a last resort. And then you do need to kind of give people a disclaimer there that that those changes could become undone if we remove the pref, change something in the future. So anyway, that's all I have for Firefox Desktop. If anybody has any questions about those, I will be posting all of this in the thread on the community forums. And so you can just reply back there, or you can ping me on IRC or email. I'm always happy to answer.
I want to add something to the tab groups thing. So we were working on an article with the team. I put a link to the article. It'll be linked in product. So yeah, hopefully that'll answer most of people's questions. One thing they said is that although there are add-ons right now that might work, that might be a good substitute, those add-ons might get broken when they actually remove the feature. So, so right now we don't know which add-ons will work yet, but they did say to recommend Pocket and the sidebar over add-ons. And add-ons should be sort of like a last resort. But as soon as we know what vetted add-ons we can recommend, I will add that to the article, and we can share that with you as well.
So I will tell you this, Dev Edition, thank you, Joni. So Dev Edition already has removed support for tab groups. So if an add-on works in Dev Edition and it's one of those tab group add-ons and it works, then that's probably a good indication that it works. So if anybody wants to go test out some tab group add-ons who has Dev Edition or they want to install Dev Edition, do that. That would be great. Just post your findings in the contributor forum.
Okay, that's a great slew of updates. Thank you very, very much, Mark, for this. This is really important stuff, and it's great to know about it in advance. I think everybody in the community really appreciates knowing this. So once again, thanks a lot. Any current questions or concerns about this? Anybody? Madalena looks confused, but that's just his word. Okay, Roland.
I just wanted to say further to what Mark said about preferences. QA doesn't test preferences, and there could be, he said, if you end up hacking your Firefox and changing 20 different or even 2 different preferences, you may have interaction problems that no one else in the world will ever see, and that no one can fix for you. So, as a user and as a support volunteer and contributor and employee, I would say let's try not to recommend setting press. I mean, obviously it's a great transitional path, but it's very, very, very temporary. And very, very temporary that will actually work, and this applies to Android as well.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Roland. Let's move on. Firefox OS, and that's Joni.
Yeah, that's me. So last week I said we would update 2.5 articles, but I couldn't actually get an update of the new release. So it's not in the simulator, and I can't get it over the air. So if you're able to get it, let me know how to do it, or I'll just keep waiting and see when it comes out. And yeah, that's it.
Okay, cool. Anybody with any questions for Joni? Or straight up solutions? No, okay, so let's move on to Firefox Android and Firefox for iOS. Roland.
We are working on the Firefox 43 documents. Well, starting to work. I think I'm going to do things differently and post a list of the documents we're working on somewhere, probably in this meeting. And Firefox 42, I don't think there are any huge issues. We released it last week. The one thing I do want to update is we have had the November Moment in Time campaign, and it has done a lot of promotion of Android to the point where, at least in Canada, we've substantially upped our ranking on the Google Play Store. And Canada and a few other target countries, the campaign has worked really, really well, and we've increased our profile substantially in the Google Play Store. I don't actually have the exact numbers, but let's just say it's from top 100 to one of the top. And the reason I'm hesitant is because A, I don't have the numbers, B, these things change all the time, but the fact that our moment in time can do that is great, and the fact that we're doing this for Android is great. Any questions about Android? I'll move on to iOS. Firefox for iOS global release is coming soon, really soon. We expect sometime in November. Sooner rather than later in November. So yeah, thank you to the Indonesian and Italian and the traditional Chinese or simplified Chinese who've done our 20 articles, localized them, and I haven't checked on Japanese, but I believe that we can get those done too quickly. And yeah, things are going great. And when the global launch happens, everyone will know. Any questions?
Okay, any questions or comments? Yeah.
Well, I sort of have a question for the community. So all the articles are ready for iOS. The only thing we need to do on launch day is to hide one of the templates that says it's coming. I can either do that by commenting it out, but then that means I'll have to like edit your locales version, or I can just delete it. And if I delete it, I think it'll just disappear. Does anyone know any downsides of me deleting a template?
You mean you delete the template and Kasumi doesn't complain, it just renders no text? The template's invoked?
That's a good question. I'll try it in staging. I don't know if it's going to show an error saying template not found.
We don't want to see an error on those things.
Right. Okay, never mind. Maybe I'll just I'll test on staging and see what happens.
I think, I mean, Mikhail would know better, and maybe Centurion, but I think anybody below localized would be happy to do less work. So if we could simply delete it without an error message, let's go for it. If it evokes an error message off, it causes an error message off, so we have to go with the update approach.
One other option would be, I mean, if we have a template that we want to delete gracefully, it would be just substituting the whole text with some like non-breaking spaces or something, so that it's well, not all of it, but like, you know, putting some blank space in there so that it kind of exists, but it just doesn't look bad, or it doesn't encrypt the content, I would say. But that's kind of a workaround and it's a bit hacky, so maybe we should just try and delete it if possible. Well, we'll see. I mean, if you need any help with this, Joni, I'm happy to help testing and do other things around this. So just ping me later, maybe. Okay, thank you very, very much for this. We are moving on to... Where were we? Sorry. This was all Firefox for iOS. Yes, yes. Okay, so the knowledge base now, Joni.
Oh, hey again. So, yeah, as Roland said, we're starting version 43 updates. Right now we're in the process of filling out the spreadsheet and making sure that all the features are accounted for. You might also see some nightly only articles. That's because people have been asking for articles to link in product in nightly. It doesn't mean we have to support or localize them right now. They're just more or less placeholders. And I think for starting this, for this release cycle, I am going to post a list of 43 related articles, just so you know which ones to prioritize. We usually keep it on the spreadsheet, but I know that it's a little harder to find, so I'll post it to the forum instead. And like I said, we haven't started Firefox OS 2.5 updates yet, but we will as soon as we get the simulator. Yeah, any questions, let me know, and that's it for me.
I have a question on the 43. Do we have any list of those articles which I need to change for the next release?
Yes, right now we keep it on the spreadsheet, and I linked it in the Etherpad. But I will, we're going to go look at it today to make sure it's complete, and I will post a list of articles in the forum. In the L10N forum. Is that the best way for you, Centurion?
Yeah, it will be best. I'm asking that can we? Is there any article which need to edit in the English edition, or all are already edited?
No, they haven't been edited yet. We haven't really
so
started yet.
Those 6 articles or 5 articles in the list, these needs edit or new article.
I have to look at it and make sure we don't have existing articles yet. That's what I'm going to do today, but I should have that completely updated by the end of the day. Do you want me to ping you when that's ready, or?
I will check in the spreadsheet, and I will. If I don't understand, I will ping you tomorrow. No problem.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, apologies to everybody. I was just typing in 3 different places at the same time.
Sorry.
You need a very big... No, it's okay. You need a very big keyboard for that. Just saying, if you're wondering how to do that. Anyway. Okay, so thank you, Joni, for the update, and thank you, Ashiko, for the question. For L10N, we don't have any big updates, but there's a lot of small updates for many different small things or bigger things flying around. So if you are involved in L10N, do pay attention to the forums, do pay attention to your inboxes. You may be getting PMs, you may be getting updates from the forums, or if you're subscribed as a locale leader to the locale leader list, there will be emails flying around. Again, nothing big, no scary emergencies or anything, but a lot of communicating going on. And of course, as always, if you have any questions or concerns, or you are not sure about something, do let me know as soon as you need to know as well, because it's going to make everybody's life easier. Any questions or comments or things you need to know about LTN this week? Okay, support forum, Madalena, straight live from London. Should you play the
Hi.
Clash in the background? You should be, like London calling.
London calling.
Yeah.
Calling indeed. Hi everybody. So a few updates for the forum. Last week we had the SUMO day for Firefox 42. We only got 85% of the questions answered, which was not so surprising considering it was a release week. And we had a lot of incoming questions, and also we had MOSFET, so some of the people who are normally involved in the forums couldn't attend that SUMO day. So 85%, thanks to everybody who has joined and answered questions. And I hope to see you next time as well.
Come on, I think I got us 100% on Android, but there were far less questions.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to check. I didn't manage to check everything. I just had a quick look on the results. So I'll look more into it to see exactly what happened where we missed people. So more to come around that, because I was at MOSFET the whole weekend, so I didn't have a lot of time to look it up. And that's it for the forum for now.
Okay, we have two questions from Tons on IRC. He's a bit late though, so we may have to rewind a bit, and I'm sorry for that. But his first question is, what is the status of showing 2.x articles for Firefox OS in the content?
I think, so yeah, for more context, there was a bug for Firefox Firefox OS. Basically, our Kitsune wasn't recognizing anything 2.5, the 2.5 show for wasn't showing up properly. So Mythmon has been in contact with the Firefox OS team, and they did decide on the user agent. And the last thing I heard was that it was Mythmon did push it to product, or to production. So I haven't tested it, is the short answer. I'll take a look and see if it works, or if anyone notices that it works. Let me know.
Yeah, I hope Don is watching us and he can pick that up, or if he can watch it later in the recording. And the second question is, there seem to be some articles not updated for 2.5 that still refer to how to create or use bookmarks, while there are no bookmarks in 2.5.
Right. We haven't started on the 2.5 articles yet because we were waiting for the code freeze. But we will get that updated this cycle. So yeah, keep an eye out for updates. Or if you want, you can also go in and start the updates and help us kind of go through the process.
Great, Joni, thank you so much. Thanks from Don as well, because he actually is listening to us live. So greetings to Don. Thank you for being with us. Okay, so that was the support forum and some questions from the IRC channel, and we're moving on to the community. There's a bug for the Army Awesome being down that has been filed today by Swarnava, so thanks to Swarnava for filing the bug and realizing that something is amiss. Generally, the Army of Awesome page is not refreshing properly, so when you scroll down it usually would load more tweets, but at this moment it was actually not loading the tweets, so we have the bug file for that. And then there's a request from my side, and thank you already to Ashikor, I think it was him, or somebody else from the Bangladesh community. Oh,
yes,
Safwan.
Siam.
Oh, Siam. Okay, yeah, okay, yeah, perfect.
He's the designer.
So, yeah, so if anybody has ever contributed any imagery or designs to Sumo Visual Designs that do not, this does not mean screenshots for articles, because that's a totally different kettle of fish. So we're not talking about screenshots here, we're talking about icons or badges or images, anything cool for promotion. And we know that CM was doing this. We know that Jan Bambak, of course, did a lot of cool stuff. But if you have done it and you are not credited for it, or you you would like to remind us of it, please do let us know. Let me know. Let Madalena know. Generally, let me know. I'm just going to put my username there. And then the reason for this is simply I want to make sure that we credit everybody for what they do, because sometimes people look for nice things to put in their CV and so on, or in their portfolio, and definitely want to make sure that you get credited for the awesome work you did for us. So CM is definitely going to be mentioned in a couple of places, and I'm going to update the people who have been contributing the visuals as I update those places as well. Then we have MOSFest 2015, and I think it's Madalena.
Yeah, so hi everybody. As many of you know, I have attended MOSFest this year here in London. It was my first time, so it was very exciting. It was a very, very crazy couple of days with everybody running around everywhere. If you have been at MOSFest before, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't been at MOSFest, please try to get there in the next years, because it is an awesome place to be. I had the opportunity to talk to a lot of people. I met a few people, some of our awesome SUMO contributors such as Seburo or Kostenslayer. And overall, it was a great experience. I have learned a lot about all the things that are going on in Mozilla, and it's a lot of things that are going on that we don't know about, especially on the Mozilla Foundation side. We do a lot of projects around open journalism, open science, community participation, etc., etc. So check things out when you have time. There will be, I guess, more updates on MOSFest sent to everybody. And also, one thing that happened, as SUMO, we're part of what it was called the Youth Zone track, where we were talking to young people about participating in support. So the idea behind it is that sorry, somebody's flagging me, and I'm like, I'm in a meeting. Anyway, so the idea behind it is that we think that young people could really benefit from working on SUMO in order for them to start understanding what Mozilla is and what is our culture, what are our products, and what we're doing. And we do have a lot of examples of people who have started with SUMO when they were still in high school, and then they evolved into other Mozilla projects. So we're looking into doing that more. So we have spoken to a few educators in schools to have like a pilot project on bringing the techie kids over to SUMO to try to do some support. So we'll see how that evolves. I'm very excited about this. And again, I'll let you know once we have more updates. I do hope that soon we'll have a few new young people over. And I will encourage everybody to say hello once we get them. They need approval first from their parents.
Awesome. Great stuff.
So that's cool. So yeah, that's around MOSFest. So again, I hope that more of us will be able to go next year, because it's really, really cool. It's a great opportunity to meet other Mozillians and get involved in like different things. So yeah, awesome. And I'm very tired after a couple of weeks of craziness. So I'm sorry for sounding a bit like I'm just like falling asleep. Yeah.
Madalena, quick question. Did you get to meet the Queen or not really?
No, not the Queen.
Next time maybe.
I have met the Queens and Kings of open source, so that was good.
Yeah, even better. Who cares about Kate Middleton and whatever that prince's name is?
Exactly.
Okay. Okay, cool. So yeah, there probably will be more things happening based on what happened in MOSFest, which is really cool. Looking forward to that. And one more thing, we will have a thread in the forums, in the contributor forums, about the upcoming sessions and the remote participation, and any questions and us giving you answers about the event you may have when it comes to the Orlando Work Week coming up next month. It's going to be a big thing, and we want to include as many people as possible in participating one way or another, because we want to follow up on what we decided in Whistler and come up with new things for the new year and get your feedback on certain things and have a few working sessions and open things up. So we'll see how this goes, but as I said, there's going to be a thread coming up soon, and we'll get things going there with your help as well. If you will have any questions around that, just wait for the thread, and then we can discuss everything in one place. Okay, we're a bit over time, so this is the moment where I ask people if they have any last minute updates or things to mention or things to say. I'm checking the channel in the meantime, so you have a second to think about this. And if nobody has any urgent, important things to bring up, that means that we are done for the meeting. This is done for today. Thank you very, very much for attending. Thanks to our usual and unusual suspects joining and watching and listening to us. We'll see you soon. Take it easy, have fun, and take care. Talk to you soon.